Hello friends. If you were born on January 21st, you're not just an ordinary Aquarius, you are a cosmic mystery, wrapped in intellect and charisma, driven by an intense need for purpose and individuality. You straddle the delicate cusp between Capricorn and Aquarius, giving you a fascinating blend of logic and innovation, discipline and rebellion, tradition and trailblazing spirit. But who are you, really? Let's dive deep. From the celestial skies to ancient wisdom, numerology to Druid signs, today, we're uncovering every layer of your astrological DNA. Buckle up. Astrological core, Western zodiac, Aquarius with Capricorn cusp influence. Born on January 21st, you sit on a powerful threshold in the zodiac calendar, the cusp between Capricorn and Aquarius. This is one of the most intellectually complex and paradoxical placements in astrology. You embody the pragmatic realism of Capricorn and the boundary-pushing vision of Aquarius. It's like having one foot grounded in tradition and the other sprinting toward the future. You're ruled by two mighty planets, Saturn, which governs structure, responsibility, and discipline, and Uranus, which rules rebellion, innovation, and unpredictability. This dual rulership explains your unique personality blend. You're both reliable and radical, serious and eccentric, a planner and a disruptor. People born on this cusp are often natural strategists, not just dreamers, but architects of change. While pure Aquarians may drift too far into theory, your Capricorn influence helps you implement those wild ideas in the real world. You don't just imagine a better future, you build it, step by calculated step. This makes you exceptionally effective in leadership roles, especially when transformation is needed. You're the rare visionary who knows how to get things done. Your strengths are multifaceted and intense. You are deeply idealistic, often believing in causes bigger than yourself. You care about justice, innovation, and collective progress. You're also fiercely independent. You hate conformity and resist being boxed in, whether by labels, relationships, or outdated traditions. Intellect is your superpower. Your thoughts run ahead of the crowd, often years before the world catches up. But make no mistake, you are emotionally intelligent. You just prefer clarity over chaos, and logic over drama. However, like every sign, you have your shadows. Your cool, cerebral nature can become emotional detachment. You might struggle with expressing vulnerable feelings, often defaulting to logic when the heart wants to lead. You're prone to overthinking, constantly analyzing every word, gesture, or possibility until it all becomes static. And while you're a fierce believer in freedom, that passion can sometimes become rigidity. You dig your heels in, not out of ego, but out of principle. Learning to flow with emotion, rather than controlling or resisting it, is your lifetime challenge, and your path to wholeness. Love and romance. Let's talk about your heart, brilliant, complex, and always 2 steps ahead. Being born on January 21st means your love style is anything but conventional. You fall in love with someone's mind first, then their spirit, and finally their body. Emotional connection, for you, is about intellectual intimacy, shared purpose, and mutual freedom. You don't do well with shallow affection or romantic cliches. If someone wants to win your heart, they better be ready for long talks under the stars, passionate debates over big ideas, and space to grow, individually and together. You're not easy to love, but that's your magic. You're intriguing, magnetic, and emotionally layered. Your partners often describe you as the one who made them think deeper, love smarter, and question everything they thought they knew about relationships. You offer transformative love, but only to those who earn your trust. You resist emotional dependency and fear losing your independence. Love, for you, must feel like a partnership between equals, not an emotional merger. You need someone who adds to your world, not tries to become it. Your romantic expression is non-traditional. You're unlikely to flood someone with constant affection or grand gestures. Instead, you show love in subtler, profound ways, helping them chase a dream, listening without judgment, creating a shared vision for the future. You crave a relationship built on shared ideals and intellectual stimulation, not routine or sentimentality. You're loyal to the core, but you'll run fast from manipulation, jealousy, or emotional drama. Your biggest turn-ons: freedom, wit, and authenticity. Most compatible signs: Gemini. This is a match made in mental heaven. You two can talk for hours, lose track of time, and build creative projects together. Gemini keeps things light and curious, while you bring vision and direction. Together, you're playful and powerful. Libra. The ultimate harmony partner. Libra's charm balances your intensity. You admire their diplomacy, and they appreciate your intellect. It's a relationship built on mutual respect, shared aesthetics, and big-picture thinking. Sagittarius. This is your fellow adventurer. Sagittarius gives you the space you need and matches your thirst for exploration, physically, mentally, and spiritually. You're both honest, curious, and delightfully weird in the best ways. Aries. Sparks fly here. Aries brings fiery passion, and you bring innovative ideas. It's a dynamic duo that challenges and excites one another. Sure, there'll be arguments, but they'll only make the bond stronger, provided both of you stay respectful. Least compatible signs. Cancer. Emotionally intense and nurturing, Cancer may overwhelm you with their need for closeness and reassurance. You'll find their clinginess stifling, and they may find your emotional detachment hurtful or confusing. Taurus. Grounded and loyal, Taurus seems like a good match on paper, but their need for routine and predictability can frustrate your love for change and innovation. You'll feel stuck, they'll feel abandoned. Scorpio. While the sexual tension might be electric, the emotional landscape is treacherous. Scorpio's intensity and need for control clash with your independence. Power struggles and emotional mind games make this a difficult match. Sexual energy. Let's not sugarcoat this, you're electric in bed, but not in the obvious way. Your sexuality isn't loud or performative, it's intelligent, intuitive, and intensely imaginative. You don't just want a physical connection, you want a mental and energetic fusion. For you, sex begins long before the bedroom, with a charged glance, a layered conversation, a philosophical debate that suddenly shifts into flirtation. Mental stimulation is your biggest aphrodisiac. If someone can't engage your mind, they'll never fully access your body, or your trust. At first glance, you might seem emotionally cool or hard to read. But that exterior conceals a deeply experimental and open-minded lover who is capable of profound passion. You don't rush into intimacy. You need to trust your partner, feel safe in their energy, and know they won't try to control or define you. Once that trust is earned, though, you unlock a realm of sensuality that few people can match. You approach sex like a journey, curious, ever-evolving, and refreshingly fearless. Routine bores you. You crave novelty, surprise, and the freedom to explore everything from unconventional turn-ons to emotional vulnerability. Your erotic energy is rarely ruled by impulse or pure animal instinct. Instead, it's fueled by curiosity, innovation, and emotional intelligence. You aren't here to possess or dominate, you want to experience and understand your partner on multiple levels. You're not afraid to try new things, push boundaries, or flip traditional dynamics. What turns you on most is someone who invites you into their world rather than trying to own yours. In the right hands, with the right energy, you're capable of a deeply spiritual and transcendent kind of lovemaking, where intimacy becomes a shared act of liberation. Sex, for you, isn't just physical. It's metaphysical. It's art. It's dialogue. It's rebellion. And most importantly, it's connection, not possession. Marriage and long-term relationships. You're not the type to race down the aisle, or follow a well-worn relationship script. For you, marriage isn't a milestone or a checkbox, it's a meaningful alliance, a merging of minds, dreams, and values. You need to grow into commitment, not be pushed into it. You're often wary of traditional institutions and titles unless they evolve to match your personal philosophy. But once you do choose someone, it's because you truly believe they can walk beside you as an equal and a partner in evolution. When you commit, it's not out of pressure or fear of being alone, it's out of deep conviction. You don't do superficial. You don't do empty rituals. You marry because you found someone who matches your rhythm, your logic, and your wild heart. Your ideal long-term relationship is built on trust, autonomy, and mutual inspiration. You want a marriage where you can still be yourself, chase your individual goals, and yet constantly meet in the middle to create something bigger than yourselves. You're loyal, but only to those who let you breathe. You're also the type of person who can redefine what marriage looks like. You might prefer non-traditional living arrangements, open communication about needs and boundaries, or shared leadership dynamics. The idea of "till death do us part" doesn't intimidate you, but you interpret it through the lens of ongoing growth. If a relationship stops evolving, you begin to emotionally withdraw. You need constant intellectual stimulation, emotional honesty, and a shared sense of progress to stay engaged and invested. At your best, you're a revolutionary spouse, supportive, open, radically loving, and endlessly loyal to those who let you be who you are. You believe in partnership over ownership, in love as liberation, and in building a future based not just on romance, but on shared truth and mutual expansion. You're not everyone's idea of a traditional partner, but for the right person, you're everything they've ever needed, and more. Friendship. You're the kind of friend that leaves a lasting impression, even if you don't always stay in touch. People are drawn to your originality, your unexpected humor, and your thoughtful way of seeing the world. There's something magnetic about your presence, quietly powerful, a little mysterious, always thinking 5 steps ahead. But while many feel fascinated by you, very few truly get to see the full picture. You're not emotionally inaccessible, you just don't open up easily. For you, friendship is sacred, and entry into your inner circle must be earned through intellectual trust, loyalty, and mutual respect. You have an unusual friendship style. On the surface, you seem chill, detached, even quirky. You're great in groups, easily the most interesting person in the room, but you're not out there collecting friends like trophies. Instead, you cultivate quality over quantity. You might have hundreds of acquaintances, but only a handful of people will ever really know what's going on in your mind and heart. Those few are the ones you let in slowly, often over shared causes, deep conversations, or mutual creative obsessions. With them, you're not just loyal, you're ride or die. You don't just listen, you advise. You don't just support, you elevate. You don't do shallow. You don't show friendship in conventional ways. You may forget birthdays, skip the group chat, or ghost a party, but if your friend is in a crisis at 2 a.m., you're already at their door with a solution, a sarcastic joke, and maybe a backup plan just in case. You offer truth over comfort, and wisdom over sympathy. You don't coddle, but you care deeply. Your friends never feel owned, smothered, or obligated, they feel free, seen, and challenged to be their best selves. To be your friend is to have a connection that transcends trend and time. It's to be part of a chosen revolution, small, tight-knit, and infinitely loyal. Business and career. You were never meant to clock in, zone out, and follow someone else's playbook. You were born to challenge the system, reimagine the rules, and rebuild the machine. To you, a career isn't just a way to make money, it's a mission, a chance to align your work with your principles. You need to believe in what you're doing, or you'll check out completely. Passion, impact, and innovation are your driving forces. You excel in spaces where intellect, creativity, and independence are not only valued but essential. You want to feel like you're changing something, not just selling, managing, or maintaining. The best work environments for you are dynamic, forward-thinking, and slightly chaotic. You thrive where others flounder. You're at your best when you're given freedom to experiment, challenge outdated models, or lead a team toward a new vision. Traditional 9-to-5 structures can feel suffocating unless they include room to grow and adapt. You love technology, ideas, and human behavior, and you're capable of blending all three to solve real problems in groundbreaking ways. You could just as easily lead a think tank as launch a startup. And you're not afraid of failure, because to you, every mistake is just a prototype for success. Career paths that suit your unique brilliance often fall in innovative or humanitarian arenas. You're the tech futurist who creates apps that change lives. The NGO strategist who sees patterns no one else notices. The psychologist who rewrites therapy frameworks. The artist who builds meaning from code. The entrepreneur who reinvents what work looks like. No matter where you go, you bring a disruptive clarity, an ability to zoom out, spot the flaw in the system, and rebuild something better. And while you're capable of working on a team, your best work happens when you're trusted, not managed. Micromanagement, busy work, and rigid authority. That's your personal hell. You need a career that isn't just a job, it's a platform. A vehicle for thought leadership, invention, or advocacy. And once you find it, you don't just thrive. You transform the landscape around you. Numerology, the power of 3. Your birth date, January 21st, reduces to the number 3 in numerology. 2 + 1 is equal to 3, and that single digit holds a powerful and vibrant vibration. In the ancient study of numbers, 3 is the number of creative expression, storytelling, and the pure joy of being alive. It governs energy that is artistic, optimistic, emotionally light, and bursting with ideas. This number is never quiet, it wants to be seen, heard, and felt. It thrives in connection, color, and communication. When paired with your Aquarius sun, this number makes you not just a thinker, but a magnetic force of imagination and originality. The number 3 adds charm, spontaneity, and emotional warmth to your sometimes cerebral Aquarius nature. You're not content to just think differently, you want to express those ideas, share them, bring them to life in conversation, art, humor, or performance. People born under this number are known as charismatic communicators, the ones who light up a room with a story, make strangers laugh in elevators, or deliver truth disguised as wit. It gives you an effortless ability to entertain and inspire, even when you're just being yourself. There's something infectious about your energy, people feel lifted just by being around you. But this number does more than just lighten your spirit, it teaches you how to bring joy into the world through your voice. With the number 3 influencing your life path, you are naturally gifted in areas like writing, public speaking, design, teaching, music, and digital creation. You don't just want to observe the world, you want to remix it. And this number ensures you'll do it with flair, fun, and a bold sense of originality. While Aquarius gives you radical ideas, 3 gives you the charisma to deliver them. It's the perfect balance between mind and soul, theory and performance. You're not just a visionary, you're a creator of culture. Druid Tree Horoscope, the Elm Tree, January 12th to 24th. In the sacred wisdom of the ancient Celtic Druids, your birth between January 12th and January 24th places you under the guardianship of the elm tree, a symbol of quiet strength, integrity, and noble presence. The elm is often overlooked in modern astrology, but in the Druidic tradition, it represents people who walk through life with unshakable dignity and a deep-rooted sense of ethics. You may not always seek attention, but you command it effortlessly. There's something about your energy that speaks to natural leadership, even when you're not trying to lead at all. As an elm, your moral compass is strong, and your decisions are rarely impulsive. While your Aquarius sun urges you toward progress and innovation, the elm energy keeps you anchored in honor and fairness. You have a unique way of combining idealism with realism, dreaming up new futures while maintaining respect for the past. This makes you incredibly trustworthy. People come to you for advice, knowing they'll receive not just insight, but wisdom delivered with calm confidence. You may not yell to be heard, but your words still echo powerfully. You carry yourself with grace, and others often find themselves seeking your quiet approval. What's fascinating is how this Elm energy grounds your Aquarian wildness. Where Aquarius might want to burn it all down and start fresh, Elm reminds you to ask, what's worth saving? Where Aquarius disrupts, Elm refines and leads by example. You're not a reckless revolutionary, you're a measured reformer. You don't just want change for the sake of novelty, you want meaningful transformation rooted in truth. This tree spirit blesses you with emotional depth, inner stability, and a fierce sense of responsibility, a rare blend that gives you quiet power in every room you enter. You are not just original. You are original with a code of honor. Vedic Jyotish astrology, Makara Rashi Capricorn Moon or Kumbha Rashi Aquarius Moon. In the ancient and deeply spiritual science of Vedic astrology, your date of birth, January 21st, places you at a powerful astrological intersection. Depending on the exact time and location of your birth, your Vedic sun sign could be Makara Rashi Capricorn or Kumbha Rashi Aquarius. While Western astrology follows the solar calendar, Vedic astrology is sidereal, meaning it aligns more precisely with the constellations. As a result, many born on January 21st find themselves embodying both grounded practicality and electric originality. This duality defines your soul's journey in this lifetime. If your sun sign falls under Makara Capricorn, you possess a deeply rooted sense of discipline, duty, and ambition. Life for you is about structure and mastery. You are not afraid of responsibility, you embrace it. There's a karmic seriousness in Makara energy that gives you wisdom beyond your years, and an innate understanding of effort, time, and long-term vision. You're cautious in decision-making, patient in progress, and committed to results. But if your sun falls into Kumbha Aquarius, your energy becomes more unconventional, future-focused, and radically independent. You reject norms, question everything, and move through the world with a deep desire to serve a higher cause. You don't just want success, you want to redefine what success means for everyone. Regardless of which Rashi you fall under, you carry within you the tension between Saturn's structure and Rahu's innovation. Saturn governs both Capricorn and Aquarius in Vedic astrology, but Aquarius also has a hidden influence from Rahu, the shadow planet of chaos, illusion, and rebellion. This makes your soul complex, layered, and often torn between building within the system and tearing the system down. You think in frameworks, but dream in revolutions. You might appear cautious, but beneath that calm is a restless force pushing toward transformation. This paradox doesn't weaken you, it's your superpower. You can build empires and reinvent them. Your nakshatra, or lunar mansion, adds even more nuance. If you were born in Shravan, your path is connected to learning, listening, and teaching wisdom. You have a natural gift for languages, music, and absorbing knowledge that heals or inspires others. If born under Dhanishta, you're here to shine through rhythm, courage, and leadership. You're drawn to community, innovation, and status, but always with a noble edge. And if your moon lies in Shatabhisha, you walk the razor's edge between mysticism and science, healing and rebellion. This nakshatra marks healers, visionaries, and those who carry cosmic secrets, often misunderstood, but destined to serve the collective. In Vedic astrology, your chart is your karma map, and yours reads like that of a spiritual architect. You're building something bigger than yourself, a legacy of ideas, systems, or revolutions that can outlive you. Whether you're grounded in Makara or reaching through Kumbha, your journey is sacred, your vision is rare, and your power lies in balancing mastery with liberation. The flower horoscope, orchid. In the poetic realm of the flower zodiac, those born on January 21st are symbolized by the orchid, an exotic bloom that reflects complexity, grace, and unshakable inner strength. Orchids aren't loud or obvious. They don't scream for attention. Instead, they enchant, intrigue, and linger in the minds of those who witness their beauty. Like the orchid, you are someone whose presence is felt long after the conversation ends. You carry yourself with an air of mystery, refinement, and self-contained elegance. People notice you, but they don't always know why. Orchids symbolize rare beauty, not just in appearance but in character. You're not easy to define or categorize, and that's exactly what makes you unforgettable. Just like an orchid thrives in unique, sometimes difficult environments, you often blossom under pressure. You're not afraid of challenge, you welcome it as part of your transformation. There's a quiet resilience in you, a soft power that draws others in. You don't need to be the loudest voice in the room to lead. You do it through subtle influence, grace under fire, and your ability to observe what others overlook. At a deeper level, the orchid reflects your emotional and spiritual journey. This flower is known for symbolizing strength through vulnerability, a perfect mirror to your paradoxical nature. You appear independent, perhaps even aloof, but those who know you well understand there is depth, tenderness, and fierce loyalty beneath that polished surface. You may guard your heart, but once someone is let in, you love with extraordinary generosity and intention. Like the orchid, you value quality over quantity, and you cultivate your relationships and life goals with the same patience and precision that this rare flower requires to bloom. In essence, being born under the orchid gives you a singular presence. You're the kind of person who shows others that there's beauty in thoughtfulness, that mystery doesn't mean distance, and that strength doesn't have to roar to be real. You are the quiet icon, the elegant rebel, the timeless bloom, resilient, radiant, and always in your own league. The stone horoscope, garnet. Your birthstone, garnet, is no ordinary gem. Deep red, richly layered, and ancient in symbolism, garnet carries with it a legacy of passion, power, and grounding energy, qualities that beautifully complement the mind-centered, air-driven nature of an Aquarius born on January 21st. Where your Aquarian spirit is often intellectual, detached, and future-focused, garnet pulls you back into the body, into the now. It reminds you that wisdom doesn't just come from ideas, it also comes from feeling, from instinct, from fire. This stone isn't just decorative, it's transformative. It holds the ability to awaken your inner courage, to restore energy when you're depleted, and to ignite desire when your visionary mind forgets the present moment. Garnet is historically known as a stone of warriors and leaders, carried into battle for protection and perseverance. In your case, it strengthens your natural role as a protector, advocate, and trailblazer. You care deeply about justice, progress, and collective well-being, but you often carry that weight in silence. Garnet helps you stay emotionally grounded while navigating complex societal systems or personal battles. It roots your idealism and passion, giving you the stamina to not just dream of change but to actually fight for it. When worn or kept close, garnet can act as an energetic anchor, calming your racing thoughts and recentering you in your emotional truth, especially when life feels too abstract or overwhelming. On a more personal level, garnet speaks to your capacity for love, loyalty, and emotional commitment. While Aquarius is known for needing space and independence, garnet gently encourages emotional vulnerability without fear of losing selfhood. It's a stone that teaches balance. You can be free and still connected, independent and still deeply intimate. It allows you to access your desires more freely, whether romantic, creative, or spiritual. Garnet sharpens your focus, fuels your ambition, and encourages you to follow through with passion and conviction. When you wear garnet, you're not just accessorizing, you're aligning with a force that strengthens your heart, sharpens your will, and reminds you of your power to love and lead fiercely. Final thoughts, the paradox of January 21st. So who are you, really? That question is both the key and the riddle of your existence. Born on January 21st, you're not just defined by a sign or a symbol, you are the paradox personified, a soul forged at the intersection of logic and rebellion, discipline and disruption, future vision and timeless wisdom. You carry within you a rare and beautiful contradiction. You're the one who questions everything but still holds sacred truths close. You believe in systems, yet you instinctively know when it's time to tear them down and start again. You are not one or the other. You are both, and then some. You are the rebel who doesn't burn bridges, but builds better ones. You challenge the world, not out of anger or ego, but out of a deep-rooted belief that things can be better, should be better. And yet, even as you push forward with radical ideas, there's an ancient soul in you that honors wisdom, structure, and the lessons of the past. You walk that tightrope beautifully, balancing innovation with respect. In love, you crave freedom like air, yet when you choose someone, your loyalty is unwavering. You don't need to be tethered to show commitment, you simply devote yourself in your own language, one of intellect, support, and spiritual companionship. This is what makes your presence in the world so necessary. You're a dreamer with a to-do list, someone who doesn't just imagine change but knows how to engineer it. You're as strategic as you are soulful. You know how to plant roots deep enough to anchor visions that stretch far beyond the now. Fire and ice, intellect and intuition, boldness and caution, these are not contradictions for you. They're fuel. Your life is a living mosaic of opposing forces that, in your hands, become not chaos but evolution. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to lead the way for others who are still trying to find where they belong. Being born on January 21st means you don't follow paths. You design them. You lay each stone with intention, guided by your own inner compass. And once that path is strong enough to carry your vision, you turn around, not to look back, but to invite others to walk beside you. Never behind. You're not interested in followers, you want equals, thinkers, co-creators of a better world. And in that quiet, steady way of yours, you're already making that world more real every single day. Stay rare. Stay brilliant. Stay bold enough to be both the mind and the heart, the storm and the stillness. And always, always, look up.